Okay, good morning. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the August meeting of the Mount Sinai School District Board of Education. My name is Nick DeVito. If we could please start, if everybody stands for the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, thank you, everybody. At this point, we will turn it over to Dr. Criscione for the superintendent's report.
Thank you, Mr. DeVito. We're going to just kick off this meeting with the hearing for our Code of Character, Conduct, and Support. Basically, this is the new iteration of the Code of Conduct. Over the years, we haven't made any real updates to it, and we were required to for some of the different things going on in the state. And we've modernized it to make it more positive, more of expectations rather than being punitive. So this is a modern version of a code of conduct. So it will be available for 30 days, and this is a draft version for the board to review. It becomes a policy for the district, so that is something for you to review. And certainly if anyone has any questions about it, they can reach out to me. Next, I would just like to share some of the things going on around the district. It was a very busy summer. Did a lot of different projects around the district. I have some pictures up there, but even this room that we just sat in, brand new facility there. The elementary had some updates in their front hall area. Our middle school has put in a lot of updates. So here's some of the pictures that you can see that we greeted students with this week when they came back for some special events. Here are some of the events that we had. We had our freshman orientation. We had our 5th grade orientation for parents and students. We had our first ever locker days, which was very exciting for our students. And I just want to point out that one of the things that makes it so special is that our principals actually use upperclassmen to help guide the younger students coming in. So at the high school, we had seniors helping our younger students, and at the middle school, we had 8th graders helping our 5th graders. And even in elementary, we had Girl Scouts who were in 1st grade taking little kindergartners and greeting them to the building. So it really is just something wonderful to see as a district. So some updates for the capital projects that we are currently working on. One of our biggest projects recently was approved in 2024. That was $3 million that was approved. We completed the baseball field, and that's the infield that was done, the softball field, and we have new signs up as well, scoreboards. Our door security system, which was a huge undertaking for the district, and that was done this summer. That's where we replaced any old doors, so basically all of them at the elementary school, many of them at the middle school, and at the high school, the doors were in good shape, so not too many had to be replaced. In addition to updating our doors, we also put in security systems with the swipe system. So no longer do we have keys to open up classroom doors, but we have swipes, which is a huge improvement security-wise. Now we are going to have our doors locked at all times because there's an ease of getting in and out of our classrooms with swipes. It's also part of a lockdown system, so now at a single push of a button, and no, Mr. DeVito, you can't push the button, I know you wanted to, we can lock down the entire building if we have to. I could lock down the whole district if I have to. So that's a really wonderful improvement. We've also integrated into our PA system, because I know last year when we had a concern with a situation where we locked down, there was some concerns with the PA and being able to get to the PA quickly. There's pre-recorded messages, which is amazing, so that's something we're going to have in the buildings. And also the ability for an administrator, if they're not in the office, to still be able to make the call through their devices. So that's an excellent improvement as well. In addition, we're updating our phone system. That's taking a little bit longer because when it comes to porting numbers, I don't know if anybody's ever tried to change their cell phone from one provider to another, but you have to get permission from one to move it to another provider, so we're in the midst of doing that, and we really didn't want to make that switch in the first week of school when we have a lot of families calling and have issues, so we're going to push that off until the end of September. So our current phones are still up and running, but our new phones are here just waiting for that portability switch over from the company. So that's an update for those projects. So we're just about finished with everything there. The other update for capital projects is our elementary school, the outer area for our modular building in the back. That was to fix the siding, replace the windows, and looking at the doors as well, because we saw there were a lot of concerns there. As you can see, some of the pictures with the pieces of the brick coming off, the fascia. So those are pieces. One of the things we're waiting for is the windows have a long lead time. So we have to wait to do that. So we're waiting for that piece of it, but that's something we're going to get up and running. It was approved by the state, which was pretty quick. So we'll be able to work on that. We're targeting, I think around December, right? Probably finished by December. The other thing I wanted to just remind people about, because we've talked about this at other meetings, is our energy performance project that we are working on. So one of the things we did as part of all the programs that we're doing, the projects that we're doing, we wanted to look at ways that we could save money as a district. So what are ways we could do an energy performance project? And if you remember, we had the company here in, I believe it was the April board meeting, where they discussed the projects and how it's a net zero to the community as far as costs. So these are projects that we are going to be working on. We're in the midst of submitting the paperwork to the state. But these are energy improvements that will cost the district nothing, or the taxpayers nothing, I should say, but that will generate energy savings for us as well. So that's a huge piece. And I know some people had asked, because we were talking about the bond recently, about, well, what about energy savings or possibilities? So I did want to remind some of the projects that we're working on and putting towards. So this is an outline for the 3 buildings of the different projects, but I'll get a little deeper here. So it would be lighting system improvements, which means changing all the light bulbs themselves into LEDs across the district. So that's a huge savings. So while it doesn't change the fixtures per se, it will change the actual bulbs to LEDs. Integrating our energy management system. So our BMS system, part of the problems we find, and we've had some issues in the past with the temperatures in the classrooms and the heat and the air conditioning not being on and having some humidity in the rooms, which could lead to problems that we don't want to have. This energy management system will be great to moderate, and people can electronically control the system. So you don't have to worry about running around to different rooms to adjust the system. And the other piece is solar panels. So solar panels at the high school, at the middle school, and at the elementary school. So those would generate a great deal of savings for us. So those are things that are in the works here as a district. And I will be adding these to, we have some frequently asked questions about the bonds. I'll be adding some of this information there so people are aware that we are in the process of an energy performance project. So over the years, just a reminder of the things that we have done just from 2022 till now. We've done HVAC, electrical, plumbing throughout the district. We've done the auditorium sound and lighting at the high school and the middle school. We've done library renovations here and somewhat at the middle school. We've done the music suite and auditorium ceiling at the middle school. We've put in all-purpose baseball and softball infields, turf, boiler and hot water heater updates, science lab renovations here at the high school, exterior and interior door and lock replacements, which is completed now, upgraded phone system, which is in the process, and exterior and interior improvements at the elementary rear wing, which had to be done. And there were also little smaller projects that we're able to accomplish. So I did want to share all the things we've been doing over the last few years with the capital funds that we've had. So for the bonds, again, our priority list, I don't know what just happened here, Mark? Okay. Here's a list of the projects that we've been talking about. The roadway is a huge piece with the parking lots, because that's something that is going to impact everybody. Our elementary school roof, obviously we need to replace that. It's already well over 20 years and needs to be replaced. Our bathrooms, our student bathrooms, both at the elementary and middle school. Our auditorium seats and flooring at the high school. Section of the roof at the middle school. And we also have things like gutters, guards, coating, a library at the middle school, elementary, sorry, it's been a long day. And our playgrounds, which is falling apart. So those are the priority lists. So a lot of people ask, well, what about, and here are some pictures of our priority list. What we've done is we've actually put a lot more pictures online, and we keep updating. There's basically like a picture library of a lot of the areas that we put in there so people can see it, so they can look in and make the picture bigger on their computer, because it's hard to see it on here. And it's of all the different spaces. So you can see specifically elementary bathrooms, you can see specifically roadways by the elementary, or bathrooms at the middle school. So those are all online. And the secondary list. So what happens is if we are able to complete all of those projects and there's still funding left over, we have an additional list of projects we would like to complete as well. So what we've done is put all the projects in the bond for the state so that we can do them if we have the funding to do them. Because that's, if you don't have it in there, you're not allowed to then do the projects. So what are the next steps for the bond? We have a town hall scheduled for 2 weeks from now on the 10th, Wednesday, September 10th at 7 p.m. here. I hope it's large enough that we have to move to the high school, honestly, down to the auditorium. Our website has a great deal of information. If you look, we've added a tab from our main site called 2025 Bond Referendum, and a lot of information is there and is going to be continued to be added. We have an FAQ on there that we're going to be adding to as people ask us questions. We'll be responding to the questions people are providing us at the next town hall meeting and adding it to the FAQ. And again, pictures are there and a lot of information is there for everybody. The vote is actually scheduled for Thursday, September 25th at the high school between 6 a.m. and 9 p.m. And some of our upcoming events, first of all, we had Superintendent's Conference Day today, so it was a great day welcoming everybody back. But our first day of school for the first time the day after Labor Day will be Tuesday, September 2nd. Our town hall will be on the 10th. We have back to school nights at the elementary school on 9/16 and 9/18. Our next Board of Ed meeting is the 17th. We've got Rosh Hashanah on the 23rd, 25th, back to school night at the high school the 25th, and the bond vote on the 25th. And that's it for my report.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Criscione. Obviously, it has been a very busy summer, so thank you for that detailed report. And just so, number one, I want to start off by thanking Mark as well, because as Dr. Criscione mentioned, there's been a lot of enhancements with the doors and IDs and everything, and Mark and his team has been tremendous at getting all these IDs done today and tomorrow and the coming days preparing for the start of the year. So thank you for all your support and getting that done in such a rush. We appreciate that. It's no secret, this board has always stated that our number one priority is the safety of our students and of our staff. And that comes in many ways, right? When people talk about safety, people just automatically assume, oh my gosh, what if there's an emergency on campus? But there's a lot more to that. And this bond really deals with a lot of those issues that are requiring our attention and we're really focusing on. This board has spent the good part of 2 years putting that together. And we're here for, trying to truly educate the community on why it's so important and the needs of this bond. This is truly a needs list, and there's really no wants on this, and sometimes the two get commingled, and thankfully we were able to keep this as a needs list to keep the district growing, making a stronger, better, safer spot. And there's also a very good video on the website that outlines some of this as well. So again, thank you, Dr. Criscione, for that great update. Okay, so let's move on to the approval of minutes. Anthony, do you want to take off on number 3, please?
Approval of the minutes resolved upon the recommendation of the superintendent. The Board of Education hereby accepts the minutes of the July 2nd, 2025 reorganization meeting, July 8th, 2025 special meeting, July 23rd, 2025 special meeting, and August 5th, 2025 special meeting as submitted.
Can I get a motion to approve?
Motion.
Thank you, Paul. Can I get a second? Thank you, Chuck. Is there any comments on the current motion? No comments? Okay. All in favor, please signify by aye. Any opposed? The motion passes. Thank you. Christie, personnel.
Personnel. Motion resolved upon the recommendation of the superintendent, the Board of Education hereby approves personnel items A through F as listed below.
Thank you, Christie. Can I get a motion to approve? Thank you, Joe. Second?
Second.
Thank you, Paul. Any comments on this pending motion? None? Okay. All in favor? Okay. Any nays? Abstentions? Okay, and that passes. Thank you. Okay. Action item 5, education. Chuck, would you mind?
Action item, educational. Motion resolved upon the recommendation of the superintendent, the Board of Education hereby approves action item A and B as listed below.
Thank you, sir. Can I get a motion to approve? Thank you, Anthony. Second? Second by Joe. Thank you, Joe. Any comments on the pending motion? Okay, great. With no comments, can I have a vote? Anybody, all in favor? Okay. Any nays? Any abstentions? And the vote passes. Thank you. Okay. Paul, action item 6, please.
Action items for business. Motions resolved. Upon the recommendation of the superintendent, the Board of Education hereby approves action items A through G as listed below.
Thank you, Paul. Can I get a motion to approve? Motion approved. Thank you, Chuck. Second? Christie, thank you. Any comments on the pending motion? Okay. Can I have a vote, please? All in favor, please signify. Any no? Any abstentions? And it passes. Thank you very much. Okay, so we will now move towards the next part of our meeting. Are there any questions, comments from the community? Yep, if you could just step up to the microphone so we can all hear you, especially those joining us online. Thank you. And introduce yourself.
Hi, my name's William Gemello. I live at 52 Hearthside Drive in Mount Sinai. We've been in the community 7 years. I am the son of a Valley Stream High School world history teacher. My dad taught in Valley Stream from 56 to 69 and then became a NYSTA rep where he retired. I've been a salesman in the cybersecurity business for 30 years and just retired in October. My 3 grandchildren go here, Paul, I remember everybody's name, Paul, Jack, and Juliana Ortolani. And we were very proud of Juliana making the junior varsity soccer team yesterday as an 8th grader. So, you know, I've been coming here watching the kids and concerts and things like that, and obviously what happened today in the Minneapolis area has always been a concern of mine, and I just was kind of curious what we're doing about the entrances again, you know, during the school year. And the other is that I noticed on, you know, all your projects, they require laborers. I don't know if the school has vocational training outside of BOCES. I went to auto shop, I went to electrical shop, I went to wood shop in school, and I used a lot of that stuff during I got a lot of scars from it, even though I'm a salesman, but just kind of curious what we're doing in that area, because you know the guy that does the dirty jobs thing, he said there's 400,000 laborer jobs out there, and I know my son-in-law, the Ortolanis, Paul makes probably as much money as I did as a salesman pouring concrete. Tough job. Not every kid wants to do it, but I know all my electrical friends and contractors and stuff, they're making thousands of dollars a day compared to the white-collar worker. And I know even in my job, AI was starting to sneak in to my job where it would take my emails and automatically make them more presentable, not by my own fruition, but so I know even sales is probably going to get affected by AI. So I know why these kids are going to college, but then they're coming out with huge bills, and where they can go be an officer, be a carpenter, or learn a trade, and instantly maybe stay on Long Island. So I was kind of curious about those two things, what we're doing about the entrances, you know, for security and vocational training. Thank you.
So in regards to the first question and security, and first off, congratulations to your daughter making the JV team. That's granddaughter. That's a great accomplishment. at 8th grade, so congratulations to her. Security is our number one concern, as I had just mentioned, and whether it be, the physical well-being of the students in terms of what's happening on campus to, the building they're in, right, and the roof over their heads. We do have armed guards on campus, as well as throughout the buildings. And this new system will absolutely help with that. We are also, there is somebody at that front gate as well throughout the day. And we are looking at some options with that as well and expanding some of that. In regards to, we don't want to get too into the weeds of, what they're doing there. We leave that to them. They're the professionals, and that's what we have them there for. But I think that, even after last year's incident that we had on campus, we feel really comfortable with all of the safeguards we have in place here, right? And we really try to make sure that in the event something does happen, we're as protected as could be. And I think, what was it, like 50, 60 cop cars almost showed up here last year in under 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Again, we never want that day, right? But I think that based off of what we're doing, we're as prepared as we can be and as comfortable. I can put my head down at night knowing that as a board member, we're doing all we can. So that gets locked. So once the buses are in and school is in session, the back gates are locked so nobody can come in or out. The only time that is open is during coming in and dismissal.
We're also looking at ways to lock some of our buildings after school hours and having someone monitor doors, especially now with this new system with the swipes, because that's for outside doors as well, which is huge, right? Because you want coaches to be able to get in and out of the building, but you don't want anyone else getting in. So the funneling people into one, one of the things parents are going to see is we're going to be funneling in to one entrance only, even for after-school activities, but that's for the safety of everybody. It's really, really important. So I can address the vocational piece if you don't mind. So what I want to say is we are a very small district, which is wonderful. There are some problems that come with that, which is the amount of things we can offer. However, we have a very robust program here at the high school when it comes to technology. We actually have a wood shop. I'd love for you to come down and see. It's amazing what the kids create. There's a shed, if you want to see, and things in the back, a gazebo that they've actually made. So we do have some robust programs here. I can say that what the state is doing, which is wonderful, is changing the way we look at how students graduate. So not every child is going to do an academic path, right? So we, over the next few years, have to change some of the things that we're doing to project-based for our students so they do have that hands-on experience. So that's a piece of it's a two-piece thing. We're looking at our electives, we're looking at our courses so that we can offer more opportunities for kids. But the big pieces, they do go to BOCES, and we do send as many kids as we can to BOCES for those true hardcore programs. A garage, we don't. Mm. Oh, that's great. Mm-hmm. It's definitely something we can consider. Mr. Parmataris is always looking, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Thank you, William, we appreciate that. Okay.
Thank you.
Please come back and support the bond. Any other questions from the community? Mark, anything online? All good, status quo? Okay, so we have our next meeting on September 17th. We have our town hall on September 10th. We hope to see this place filled, and as Dr. Crescioni said, hopefully it's so busy we'll have to move down to the auditorium. We look forward to that. Good luck on Tuesday to everybody. Welcoming the students back. We look forward to that and hearing all about that. And with that, can I get a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion to close.
Thank you, Paul. Can I get a second? Thank you, Chuck. The meeting has been adjourned. See you next time. Thank you, everybody.